Hey guys, welcome to today's video where I'm going to share with you the daily routine that I followed back when I was preparing for the PTE exam that allowed me to get a 90 score. Before we get started, it's a beautiful sunny day out here in Sydney and I just wanted to share with you the view from my balcony. You have the ocean right there in the background and the beautiful blue skies. The skies in Australia are very blue for some reason. I don't know why, but I just love it. There's a view of the city in the background. You have a rugby cum cricket field over there. I'm not sure if you can see that too clearly. But my favorite part of this view is the ocean right there. In the morning when you have the sunrise coming up, it really looks beautiful. The reason I'm showing that is that there are a lot of people that are moving from abroad to Australia for the first time after taking this exam, and you haven't had the chance to actually visit here. So I just wanted to share with you guys a glimpse of what you can expect once you're down, just for some added motivation. Anyways, let's get started and jump straight into today's video. So like I said in the introduction, today's video is about what I did on a daily basis, the routine that I followed back when I was preparing for the PTE exam that allowed me to get a 90 score. Now this is the exact same routine I followed for around 40 to 50 days, and I'm going to share everything with you right from the minute I got up in the morning up until the time I went to bed. So for me, when I was preparing for the exam, I had a full-time job just like many of you guys. For me, I was doing a 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. kind of shift. I know many of you guys are maybe students or working yourselves, and you need to fit the PTE preparation into your routine. So let's see how I did it. I would typically wake up at around 9 a.m. in the morning, brush my teeth, have a shower, meditate, and just the general stuff that you do when you wake up. So that was for about like 45 minutes. So from 9:45 to 11:30 is when I did PTE specific practice questions in preparation for the exam. I got familiar with the format. I identified areas where I was weak at and I started preparing on them. And PTE specific preparation is what I did from around 9:45 to 11:30. After 11:30 I got ready for work, and from 12 o'clock to 12:45 I used to travel from work in my car, so from office to work in my car. So what I did was I didn't let that time go to waste. I actually listened to audiobooks and podcasts which had good quality English in them. I listened to them on my way to work in the car as I was driving, so I had good quality English getting consumed into my mind subconsciously on my way to work. So the 45 minutes of travel time is not something that I just wasted doing nothing. As I reached the office parking lot at 12:45, it actually took me 15 minutes to get from the parking lot to the office. So what I would do on the way to the office is I would look at random objects. For example, I would take a tree and I would practice talking about that tree for 35 seconds. Now, why would you do this? You ask. Well, it's because speaking continuously without pauses is one of the skills that you require in the speaking section for the describe, image and the retell lecture. So that is just a skill that I was trying to develop because it was something that I was weak at. So initially I got a few weird looks from people wondering why is he talking to himself, but later on I just pulled out my phone and I started doing the exercise, so people thought that I was talking into the phone to someone on the other line, whereas actually I was getting my PTE practice on the 15 minutes from the parking lot to the office. Okay, so now I'm in office, I'm ready to get started. My work day was from 1 o'clock to 10 p.m. 1 p.m. to 10 p.m. Now, apart from doing the duties that my company paid me to do, I would also try to sneak in some PTE preparation whenever I could in the middle. Whenever my boss was not around, I would open a browser and I would open an article that had challenging English to it and just start reading material on a regular basis, or maybe even do some practice questions if I could. And apart from that, I also took the chance to speak with my colleagues and my co-workers in English as often as I could. And as I was speaking, I was conscious of not having pauses and hesitations while I was speaking, so which again helped me in the speaking section. Something else that I did was in the writing section. As I was writing emails, I did it without the spell check, and after completing my email, I put it in the spell check and I kind of identified the words that I spelled wrong and the mistakes that I did. I also looked at emails from people who had very good English, and I seen how they structured their emails, the kind of vocabulary that they uses, and just picked up on good habits on how to write things, which helped me in the writing section. So those are all things that you can do as well if you have the chance to do so at your office or workplace. I also made it a point to ensure that I left the office on time. So 10 p.m. is when my shift officially ended, but there were some days that we had to stretch because work didn't get done or some reason. So I just made it a priority that for those 30 to 40 days or whatever the time that you require for your preparation, that to keep the PTE at the forefront. And I made it a task, I made it a challenge for me to leave work on time as much as I could. Now, as I left the office from 10 o'clock to 10:15 on the way to the parking lot, we used to speak about random objects like I described earlier. Then from 10:15 to 11 p.m. as I was driving back from work, I would listen to audiobooks and podcasts again, getting good quality English into my head, learning new vocabulary and how words are used together subconsciously. And as I would reach home by 11, from around say 11:30 to 12:15, for about half an hour to 45 minutes, I would read a book, either a physical book or a book on a Kindle, which is an e-reader. So I would do that, and I would learn any new words that I would come across. I would Google, and that's how I built upon my vocabulary, and I learned how words are used together. And from 12:15 to 12:45, I would chill out. I would watch maybe some videos on YouTube or anything just to relax. But I made it a point to ensure that I was watching even entertaining stuff in English, and not in any other language, because it helps. So I did that for about half an hour, and about 1 a.m. is when I would go to sleep. I made sure I went to sleep on time so that I could get up in the morning and start my PT preparation all over again. So this was the routine that I followed from 9 a.m. in the morning to 1 a.m. in the night. Now you do not need to follow the exact same routine because your circumstances is going to be different, but the idea or the main takeaway that I want you to get from this video is that I made it a point to ensure that I could add PT preparation and learning English as part of my preparation all throughout the day, because that was the priority in my life at the moment. And there are always going to be other things coming in your way, but you need to figure out how to make the exam your priority, if it is a priority for you, and keep it in the forefront all throughout the day. So look at the routine that I shared with you, and look at your current routine, and try to identify maybe 2 or 3 things that you need to change in your routine so that you are getting more English into your life and you are able to give more time for the PTE preparation. Now, not everybody needs to put in so much time for the PT exam. It all depends on where your level of English is and the score that you need to get. Now, if you want more details on that, there's a free video that I have in the description where I go through what it takes to actually get your desired score. But the routine that I shared is particularly helpful for those who are maybe 10, 15 or even 20, 30 points behind from the score that they currently desire. So people who are stuck in the 50 to 40 point range and are looking to move to 79 plus, those are the people who, in addition to doing regular PT practice and working on tips and strategies, they also need to work upon improving their overall English, which can take time, and the quickest way to do it is by immersing yourself in English and using creative methods throughout the day to sneak in English into your life. It's only until you like improve your English is when you're going to make jumps of 10, 20 or 30 points. Otherwise you're just going to be taking the exams without any change and you're going to keep getting the same result. Think about how you can incorporate changes into your daily routine. Leave me a comment in the video and talk about maybe 1 or 2 changes that you can make to your routine in order to move closer to your desired score. If you do want to do that, leave me a comment and tell me what you thought about the view that I showed you. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, check out the free video in the description again on how to get your desired score, and all the best for your preparation, and I'll see you soon.